Powerbalance. Hi and welcome to a cEDH card review for this mono red enchantment. This is the red version of counterbalance. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the two spells have the same mana value. So if someone is casting a 2 CMC Thrasius, you get to look at the top card of your library, and if that is an arcane signet, you can cast it. Counterbalance does the opposite, it counterspells the thing. So how good is this? Honestly, don't know. On this YouTube channel I'm continuously calculating statistics on various cards, and I have noticed that Counterbalance, the blue enchantment version of this, is usually getting a very bad performance. I'm usually getting an information from my data saying that Counterbalance is not recommended. And there are two things that could make that into the case. The first one is that the chance of hitting an equal value isn't really that easy and guaranteed. The second potential reason why Counterbalance could be weak is that counterspelling things are usually weaker compared to gaining value. So the value or the effect you gain from Powerbalance compared to Counterbalance is that the value from Counterbalance is usually better. It is more okay to have one of your opponents have their spell resolve while you are also gaining a benefit from it, compared to having an effect that is saying that your opponent doesn't get their effect and you gain no effect either. For example, this functions a little bit similar to a heuristic study. No, not really like a heuristic study, but it will have the aspect of it. Your opponents are casting spells and boom, you're getting triggers from this, and eventually you get to resolve stuff. There is an upside as well with Powerbalance compared to Counterbalance, is that whenever something resolves from the top of your library, that thing is going away from the library, which means that the next card on top of your library is going to be a new mystery card, where everyone knows that what's on top of the Counterbalance library is going to stay on top of the Counterbalance library. Now, the most common CMC overall inside this format is usually around 1 and 2. You can ask Talion about that. So if you're playing this card inside your 99, you should try to focus your build around value number 1 and value number 2, and a few CMC free spells as well, but try to stay away from the 4, 5, 6 and 7 stuff. What you also want to have with this are top deck manipulation cards like Vamp Tutor, World Tutor, etc. You get the idea. You see, this is a trigger, and you can respond to it. So someone casts, let's say, a 2 CMC spell of any sort. You cast your Vamp Tutor and find anything on CMC 2, put that card on top of your library, flip it and cast it. And that is honestly good. The question is then, how much value are you going to gain in the course of the game? It's going to be very random and very uncertain. Like the performance of this card, what you're going to gain from it having inside it your 99 is going to be like hit or miss. There's nothing really guaranteed with this card, and I think a lot of people kind of like that, but in the end, in the big overall history, people are usually moving away from those things. People usually want to have guaranteed outcomes, like, okay, this is my 99, this is my build, I know exactly how it's going to work, I know exactly what it's going to be capable of doing, and it's not walking around in uncertainty. And this is going to be one of those uncertainty cards. So as a finalized review, I think the card has potential, but I think the card is going to be a little bit too uncertain, a little bit too random. But if you land this like turn 1 or turn 2, you should be gaining like 1, 2, 3 cards in the course of the game, maybe more. I have seen a lot of games where Counterbalance is sitting there and doing nothing, so I could see a world where this is sitting there and also doing nothing. But time will tell. Overall, it's a very cool card. I just came up with a white version for this, so double white of course, flip if the spells have the same equal mana cost, you gain treasures equal to the mana value. I just realized a black version too, double black of course, you flip, and if they have the same mana value, that caster loses life equal to the mana value. The green version would be something like flip the card, if they have the same mana value, put counters onto a creature equal to the mana value, I guess. And in any case guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little short card review. and more of the sorts are coming up. Until then, take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one.